Back in New Orleans, the Superdome was the city's official hurricane shelter. It became a shocking symbol of the chaos and suffering millions were experiencing in the region. 30,000 people sought safety inside the building, packing the stands. Small children, the elderly, people sleeping on the floor. The violent winds pounded the roof. The power went out. It began pouring inside, terrifying those already on edge.
Sounded like a tin can ripping open with a can opener or something. You can see the light from the outside coming in.
For 6 long days, people endured the horrific conditions. Then, this unexpected moment. In the halls of the Superdome, the human spirit rising above adversity, people lifting each other up, singing. That will to survive, to rejoice in life, signaling to many the collective strength it would take for the city and the region to recover. And with an infusion of more than $100 billion of federal aid, the rebuilding would soon begin across the Gulf Coast. Yes, slow at times, but steady after the waters finally receded and most of the debris was hauled away.
We had a million structures that were hurt. 250,000 homes were destroyed. 1,800 people were taken from us. I mean, it was a big, massive deal. And here's the thing, everybody lost everything.
Including a loss of trust in the government. Mayor Mitch Landrieu inherited the damaged city from his predecessor, Ray Nagin, who's now in federal prison for corruption. Today, Mayor Landrieu is still working hard to get things back on track.
Where do you feel, though, that you've fallen short?
I think our recovery has been slower than people have wanted it to be. The expectation when you're in pain is you want to get out of it as quickly as possible. And so when you had an old, tired city before, and you had a country that wasn't investing in infrastructure, and then you got beat down like that, you know what? It takes you a lot longer to get back up.
10 years on, are you confident that the levees could hold?
Well, let me put this in context. We have a $14.5 billion levee system now that protects us against a Category 3 storm. I don't know if you've seen it now, but we have something called the Great Wall of New Orleans. This is actually 8 miles out. The levees ring the city, and we have a pretty good pumping situation. However, you know this as well as I do. Every time you build a wall, there's a bigger storm that comes.
And while the levees have been rebuilt in New Orleans, a foundation of faith has helped bring back stability across the entire region.
What I see in the community is not people reminiscing about how it used to be, but imagining what it can become.
David Faulkner is the Reverend at Trinity Episcopal Church in my hometown of Pass Christian, Mississippi.
It was the faith-based groups that got this area back on its feet.
It was, and it was people of different faiths, of different denominations, actually working together and forgetting about our differences for a little while, which was amazing. And you can see individuals and community organizations and churches working together in ways that government can't accomplish.
It took faith.
The Saints are up 2 scores.
But it also took devotion to that other Sunday ritual, football. And the region's home team, the New Orleans Saints, did not disappoint. Within a year of Katrina, the Superdome had been rebuilt, and so had the team known more for losing than winning.
Super Bowl champs for the first time ever.
And when their new patron saint, Drew Brees, lifted the Super Bowl trophy, he lifted the spirits of everyone.
You know, 4 years ago, whoever thought this would be happening? You know, when 85% of the city was underwater. Most people not knowing if New Orleans would ever come back.
The triumph turned the beaten-down Crescent City into the comeback city and energized the entire Gulf region.
So this is where you come out?
Yes,
this is where
this is the tunnel entrance. It looks a bit different right now. No turf, but this is it. This is when the electricity starts to happen.
For Breeze, the redemption was also personal. A shoulder injury with the San Diego Chargers and a failed contract negotiation nearly sidelined his NFL career. Until New Orleans came calling in 2006, not long after Katrina.
I needed somebody to believe in me just as much as New Orleans needed someone to believe in them. In so many ways, New Orleans saved not only just my football career, but for me as a person.
I can't help but look up World Champions 2009. 3, 2, 1! They did it! That was so important to the people of New Orleans. Sitting in the stands, I got really emotional. Was it emotional for you guys too?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there were so many emotional moments along the way, just because we knew that this was about an overall just recovery, an overall resurrection of this city, of this community, of a spirit.
And the Superdome itself, once a scar on the face of the city, became a monument to victory over despair.
I think keeping those memories and those visions close to your heart is what makes you feel like every time you step in this building, you're playing for a lot more than just to win a football game.
The Superdome, after the renovation, turned into this beautiful new building because the people of New Orleans started to say, well, you know what, if we could get this building back up and the Saints can go from being the worst to the best, you know what, we can do that too.
And Drew Brees has put that can-do spirit into action. He and his wife, Brittany, helping the children of their adopted city with their foundation.
I would say not only has New Orleans come back, it's come back stronger in so many ways. But one of the best things I've ever heard was when we first got to New Orleans, somebody said, if you love New Orleans, it'll love you back. And there is no truer statement.
Coming up,